just changed your guard change. Look at the buttons they got. Why have they got buttons and gloves on like that? Yep.
So the situation would appear to be this. The police have had the authority to effectively shut everything down here for a few days, but the drummers from the Reclaim Your Power camp were blocking the road for an extended period, and unfortunately the police have taken umbrage with this. So they've sent word to the drummers who walked up to the station that if they come down, and I quote, if they block the road for an extended period, then they will be forcibly removed. And as you can see right here, these guys are pulled up for pretty much any eventuality. So of course everybody hopes that it's not going to come to this. You know, 3.5 weeks, and the relationship between the people here and the police has been remarkably cordial. So tragically, this is probably the first time we have seen such a display of force. But like I said, let's hope it doesn't actually manifest into anything more serious than a simple standoff.
Oh, so is it you that can enact this? Hence, that was a couple of days ago that started,
exactly.
wasn't it?
So we had this as a power, but we chose not to use it because we didn't need it.
Right, oh, okay.
So now that we felt we do need it, we've used it, and as soon as we think we don't need it, we'll rescind it.
And what was
it will only be done.
that caused you to make that decision in general?
It was because the very large group that was here that caused obstruction here and was causing obstruction on the road.
Oh, the entertainers?
The entertainers, yeah. That's not so much of the issue, but actually they've gone up to the train station. We know from their stated intention they're coming back. And actually, if they come back and do the same thing for a long time...
Do they know that when they come back, or have you just laid this
No,
out?
the officers up there. The officers up there will be briefing it to them. Briefing it to them. And now, what we were trying to avoid is if they came back down and then there was 200 people here, and then we thought, crikey, we need to move them back. To do that would require a use of force, which we're keen to avoid. So by doing it this way, we can get ourselves in, and then we can say, this is the situation. These are the legal powers. Please comply with what we're doing, so that we don't have to recourse to force.
Are you expecting?
I'm getting voices away here. We've got another group of people coming up from the south now that their stated intention is to go past through us and go meet up at the railway station.
Let them go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I tell you now because you've got things in the road.
No, we'll move absolutely. No issue.
That's right.
No issue. So what we have is the Reclaim Your Power camp marching up from the south with a police escort, and the plan is to let them through the police line here and join the drummers in the north, and then we'll see what happens. There's like a fire break. This is Ian R. Crane at the Balcombe blockade on day 25, Sunday 18th of August 2013. We see behind me is probably the last few minutes of the rally here. It's been a day of some highs but also some pretty unfortunate lows. We saw the Surrey police coming in today pretty much in riot gear. We're told this is level 2 rather than level 1 because it wasn't the full body armour. But nonetheless, it was quite evident that there was a lot of hype that there was going to be some pretty serious drama. And unfortunately, the police responded accordingly. Eventually, they decided that it might just be inciting a little. So they did remove the guys from the body armour, and they've left the level 2 and the level 3 guys here. Initially, the road was blocked while the march was coming down, and of course the march is the largest collection of people that we've seen here at Balcombe since the protest began. And there's people here, as we expected, from all over the country. And considering that the protest is, I think it's about 2.5 weeks, 3.5 weeks, I've lost track of time now. It's got to be a little over 3 weeks. And hopefully what we're going to see is these numbers grow every single weekend. We have the permanent camp, we have people coming down for the day trips during the week, slows the trucks down as they go into the quadrilla camp, and this is excellent. This is costing quadrilla an arm and a leg, and of course the big issue really is who's paying for the police presence, because this is going to become part of the shale gas industry if this does kick off in this country. And the football clubs, when they have the police there, it is the football club that has to pay for the police. And really what needs to be built into the costs of any shale gas activity is the cost of the policing. We were told that the police costs are running in excess of £30,000 a day. Of course, the media is trying to spin it that this is directly due to the protesters. In reality, it's going to be part of the industry because this is very clearly an activity that the vast majority of people in this country do not want. And the reality is that those who are still pro-shale gas are those that haven't done their research. It's also becoming very evident that the police are starting to take a look at this, and I suspect we're going to see less and less of the Sussex police here at Balcombe, because as we learned during the course of the week, some of the Sussex police officers had requested not to be assigned here to Balcombe. So clearly there was an empathy building up between some of the Sussex police officers and the protesters, and I think what we're probably going to see is an establishment strategy to try and break that empathy. So we're probably going to see more and more outside police forces being assigned here for a few days at a time so that no empathy develops and there's limited opportunity to perhaps share the insights. This is an issue that isn't going away. The numbers of people down here today clearly demonstrate the rising awareness right throughout the country. And we are going to be here until at very least September the 28th. And by the time that comes round, hopefully, David Cameron and Lord John Brown, Francis Maude and all the other corrupt officials in government and as part of the global corporatist agenda will realise that the British public will not accept any attempt to contaminate their water, their soil or their atmosphere. Okay, now I'm going to close with something that was put on the board outside. Some of you may have read it, but many of you won't. But I think this is very powerful, and I want to share it with you. I have no idea who wrote it. I think it says Dan, but that might not be the case. But I want to share this with you, and I hope you appreciate why. It's called Who is to Blame? We are the starving, the meek, and the poor. We are the victims of your conflicts and wars. We are the people struck down with the AIDS, a hidden surprise in the vaccines you gave. We are the children who die 10 a penny, casualties of progress for your world of plenty. We are the homeless you step over in the street. I'm the crazy ranting lady whose eyes you won't meet. We are the youth, disenchanted and angry, with asbos and hoodies and a disengaged family. We are the natives whose water you soured, whose trees you cut down and land you devoured. We are the people displaced from our lands because laws can be broken for a corporation so grand. We are the creed, an entire race you're erasing with your illegal bombs filled with depleted uranium. But these weapons aren't selective. Yes, you're killing yourselves or your soldiers, their wives and their children as well. Because we are the cancer that plagues your society. With diabetes and infertility, we gain notoriety. We are the workers whose jobs are all lost because the Chinese can do it for a far lesser cost. We are the victims of your financial crash. Homes taken, bankrupted, left scratching for cash. We are the people who bailed out the banks. Are they ours? Do we own them? Do we get any thanks? No. They continue to screw us and charge for the service. IMF, the World Bank, they have a sinister purpose. We're not pointing the finger or passing the blame. We don't want your guilt, your pity, or your shame. We don't want your money you're so eager to lend because we won't be indebted or slaved to your trends. We just want a playing field that's level and fair, to know the rules of the game and to have an equal share. We just want the freedom to live our lives as we please, to run our own country and to fish our own seas. So we'll print our own money and we'll choose our own leaders and we'll no longer stand for the bullshit they feed us. We'll grow our own food and make our own diesel and have no further dealings with your corporate evil. We'll take back what's ours, the banks and the trains, power companies, the roads, no more corporate gains. Your time, it's nearing through our struggles and pains because we, the people, we're tired of your games. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.